Before you announce any big career move, imagine being able to test drive new fields in private. With a few focused hours of research, you can start to see how different industries actually work. What roles exist, how people advance, what problems they solve. At the same time, you begin to master the industry jargon, the specific terms, acronyms, and phrases insiders use every day. That quiet preparation lets you walk into future conversations sounding informed, not invisible. And when you finally sit down for an informational interview, the outcome hinges on one simple move: being specific about what you want to learn. Instead of saying, "I'd love to hear about your career," you define the target. Steps for successful informational interviews start with this. Be clear about your request. Specify what type of information you need to receive better assistance. That precision turns a polite chat into a focused, generous download of exactly the insight you're missing. Here's the snag many career changers hit. They walk into conversations hoping for clarity, but walk out with more confusion. The core problem isn't a lack of generous people. It's that their questions are too fuzzy to act on. When you can't pinpoint what you actually need to know, even the most well-connected insider can only offer generic advice. That gap between your hazy ask and their broad answers quietly stalls your transition. Behind-the-scenes research doesn't just fill your head with facts, it gives you stories. As you read articles, profiles, and biographies, you start to collect short, vivid anecdotes about how people actually navigated their careers. These aren't just interesting, they're social tools. When you can say, "I read about someone who solved a similar problem this way," you instantly build rapport, keep conversations flowing, and signal that you've done your homework. Here's the practical move. Build a short list of people you genuinely admire, then study how they think. Read their interviews, long-form profiles, talks, and the books and articles they recommend. In parallel, read widely in your field. Reports, essays, thoughtful commentary. Treat this as rehearsal for future conversations. You're noticing what they care about, how they frame problems, and which ideas keep resurfacing. That way, when you finally meet people, you're already speaking in their world, not just your own. Imagine you're preparing for an informational interview with a product leader. Instead of asking, "So, what's it like in product?" your research lets you ask, "How did your role change once your company shifted from one flagship product to a multi-product portfolio?" That's the payoff of preparation. Research helps you formulate informed questions for informational interviews. So the conversation goes beyond surface-level chatter and into the nuanced realities you actually need to understand. You've now seen how the pieces fit together. You pause long enough to see your current professional identity clearly. You explore options quietly instead of announcing a search. And you approach conversations with intention instead of hope. None of this requires a dramatic leap. It's a series of small private experiments that gradually reshape your direction. Treat this as an ongoing practice, not a one-time project, and your next move becomes something you design, rather than something that just happens to you. Before this video ends, choose one concrete, quiet step you'll take in the next 24 hours. Maybe it's bookmarking a biography to read this week, setting a 15-minute calendar block labeled simply Career Notes, or starting a private document where you'll capture roles, people, and questions as they occur to you. Keep it low visibility, low pressure, and repeatable. Your transition doesn't start with an announcement. It starts with this one small, deliberate move.